Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
Absolute format is the best way to own this store. Time to empty those wallets and fill those shelves.
Welcome everyone to Near Mint Condition, a channel where you can be part of a positive, honest community and lay claim to some comic book knowledge. I'm your host, the Astonishing Melanie, and I heard tell that you are interested in checking out One Piece. So since that's the case, let me share my experience with you, discuss some plot points, characters without spoilers, and some spoilers at the end with a warning beforehand. So stay tuned. I recommend reading One Piece if you are looking for a story to lift your spirits. I was reading One Piece years ago and got up to volume 78, and it fell to the wayside. I didn't stop on purpose. It's just there were other things to read, and I just forgot. All right. This summer, I decided I'm going to start from the beginning and read again. So I've read East Blue and Baroque Works, those two story arcs. So the first 23 volumes. And as of the filming of this video, there are 106 tankobons. Tankobons are these smaller books that, the dimensions are smaller than other books. There's about 180, 200 pages worth of material, chapters collected in them. You can buy these 3-in-1 versions as well. So they contain 3 of these. Finally, they made these box sets, not just for One Piece, but for lots of other manga titles. And they are very nice. Look, this one looks like a treasure chest. And it comes with East Blue Baroque Works and this little booklet that is the prototype of One Piece, Romance Dawn, like his first version of the story. So you're interested in reading One Piece. Why One Piece? What drew me to it? I really enjoy stories filled with the common trope you find in anime and manga of fighting spirit, pursue your dreams, believe in the me that believes in you kind of friendship. Of course, I can't talk about that trope without mentioning Gurren Lagann now, can I? Now, this trope can be overplayed at times. However, I think Ichiro Oda, the mangaka of One Piece, does a great job balancing the narrative, making it flow and keep a good pace, and these awesome moments of to lift your spirits. By the way, and the term mangaka is the person that most of the time they're drawing and writing the manga. Like they're just in total control of it. So it's the author of the manga. So what I'm saying is there's enough substance to the story that, and there are enough variety of characters, you can keep on reading without getting burned out on the trope. Now, if you're intimidated by the fact that there are over 100 volumes published, and perhaps 120 total before Oda is finished, I don't blame you. I have the attitude of, I'll read it when I'm in the mood. I'll take a break, because there's so much else to read, right? And then just come back to it. Let's talk about the general gist of the story. As a young boy, Monkey D. Luffy admired the pirate captain Shanks. Both of them right here. But Shanks said he was too young to become a pirate. In a ridiculous moment that truly sets the tone for the story, Luffy stabs himself in the face to show how tough he is. He inadvertently eats the devil fruit afterwards, this magical fruit that grants unique characteristics to whoever eats them, like fighting powers. And he gains the ability to stretch like rubber, which is a pretty goofy power to be sure, and one that matches his goofy personality. 10 years later, we find that Luffy's not so angry. He's happy-go-lucky. He's not trying to prove himself. He's not the brightest, and he reacts intensely to situations with a dash of childlike wonder. And his confidence is bolstered by the fact that he just not nonchalantly states, just as a matter of fact, he's going to be king of the pirates. So that's it. I don't have to argue about it because it's just going to happen. It's his attitude. Because he's going to find the One Piece, the treasure that Gold Roger, hinted at right before his execution, the former king of the pirates. Of course, Luffy needs a pirate crew, and he has the attitude of he'll just get one. He doesn't have a plan. He just trusts in his world, and it's going to happen. They'll automatically want to join, or he'll bug them until they join. And other people are inexplicably inexplicably drawn to him in spite of his stupidity, annoying habits, because he's honest and he's got this open, childlike heart. One thing that makes reading this book fun is that the characters have backstories, right? As you do. However, sometimes you don't find out until way later on about their backstory, and it's just, it gets you right here. So, as far as the crew goes, most of them are male. Morona Zoro, or Zolo, because R and L kind of sound the same in Japanese. Zoro, I'll say, is the stoic type who wants to become the world's greatest swordsman. Sanji is a talented chef with an incredible kick who is infatuated with the ladies. Usopp is a sharpshooter with a penchant for lying. Along with Luffy, these four guys usually bicker, get rowdy with each other, or commiserate as fellow men in silly parts of the story. Later, Tony Chopper joins by the crew, and he's a reindeer turned into an eventual doctor because he ate a devil fruit that turned him part human, and then he trains to become a doctor. For a while, Nami is the only female crew member, and she's a very intelligent thief who acts as the navigator with her skills of understanding the weather and her intelligence, her knowledge about maps and charts and such. And she has a lot to keep the guys focused and try to have some semblance of control as a crew. Genuine smiles of joy and glee pop up on their faces all the time, even though you'll get the taste of the trope of the crew teasing each other and bickering and their teeth getting all sharp because they're angry, yelling at each other. But it's all in the name of friendship. They love each other for who they are, and they just go with the flow. They just keep going. And you can tell how much Oda loves these characters based on how they treat each other. I love Oda's art style. It's very cartoony. So much exaggeration. Most of the fights are the typical new powers against the crew, who's also upped their mad skills with training and just with experience, etc. You know, that type of adventure story. It's fun to see how each fight plays out. Sometimes I do have a hard time following the action, though. It's not that big of a deal. It's like I can still know what's going on, but it bothers me if I don't understand how a punch landed or how so-and-so ended up over there, things like that. Speaking of Oda's over-the-top exaggeration, I love it when a character cries. Oh my gosh, there's so much. It's like a river of tears and a river of snot. And it's just all over. It's so ugly and it's amazing. The beginning picture of each chapter has been collected into these color wall compendiums. You get them soft cover. I think this hardcover has 3 collected in them. So, you get the color with it. And these are so nice. You've got animals in so many of these pictures. He has so much fun drawing the animals. I really enjoy how he brings so much energy to each picture, how all of the crew members, or regardless, or whoever's in the picture, how they're interacting with each other. I find just some of them to be very inspirational. Now I'm going to jump into spoilers and discuss some times when friendship is the key to winning, how Luffy or somebody else is just really special, and I want to share that with you. If you don't mind spoilers, you can continue watching. Or if you've read the manga and you just want to be like, oh yeah, I remember that. I think they're important because it makes you feel like you're part of something bigger. Like you're special as well when you're reading about these characters and these kind of moments that they have. Let's start off with Usopp. He spent his life as the boy who cried wolf for various psychological reasons, and would always be yelling that pirates are attacking the village. When they actually do, he asks Miss Kaya and the band of kid pirates to keep it a secret because the villagers got comfortable knowing that they are safe. He was just lying. Like there was no danger looming over their heads, and he wants them to remain feeling that way. All right, remember Sanji's backstory? So good. The pirate chef Zeph let the child Sanji have all the food when they were straining on a rock in the middle of the ocean. And his bag, which looked like it had food as well, ended up just being treasure. He cut off his own leg and ate it. That's why he's got a peg leg, in order to survive, so that Sanji could survive by eating all of the food. That just, it's gross and over the top ridiculous, and it gets you right here. And that's why Sanji can't refuse a hungry, starving person. Nami's backstory is heartbreaking, and she swore she would never cry. But she did break down in tears, and that's all Luffy needed to agree to help her. He was just wait for it. He destroys the room where she was basically held captive, forced to make maps for Arlong, and because she hated it. She hated the room, so he was going to destroy it. He destroyed it in a fit of anger at the injustice. It was really cool. Or how about Laboon the Whale, who befriended a pirate crew that left him at the entrance to the Grand Line, and he's banging his head against the rock every day because that's the only family he knows. That's his pod, his family, and he's trying to get to them. And then Luffy fights with them kind of to calm him down and says, hey, we'll come back for you, and paints like the skull, the Straw Hat Pirate skull on him, and oh my goodness. So I haven't read to the end. I don't watch the anime, but I have faith in Oda and his planning out of this story that they'll come back. He'll bring Laboon the Whale back at some point at the end. Finally, since Luffy is the main character and captain, there's got to be something special about him, right? I love it when he's freaking out and geeking out over the fact he's on the execution scaffold, where Gold Roger was executed, and he declares he's going to be king of the pirates. But then Buggy the Clown has got him, and he is going to die, and he accepts his fate and laughs. The Marine Captain Smoker is astonished at this, and he was like, that's just like 22 years ago when Gold Roger was executed. He did the exact same thing. And then volumes later, Dr. Kuhera, I guess, I don't watch the anime, so I don't know how to say it. Well, she states that she believes Luffy will be carrying on the will of Gold Roger. So I love how he brought that back, and it just, like, what's the special thing about Luffy? So you want to read One Piece? I say give it a try. Manga is quick to read. You may find yourself sucked in. And isn't that fun when you find something that you lose track of time, you're sucked into reading it. It lifts your spirits. You know, and I get how some people may be turned off at how strongly people feel about this fandom. As a teacher, I hear kids say like, oh, that's the weird like anime kid or whatnot, because they feel so strongly, they get so worked up about these stories. And I could see how people would think that would be strange, that it's just too much for the majority's taste. However, some of it boils down to the fact that these stories really lift your spirits and you get addicted to that. So anything wrong with having your spirits lifted if it's not consuming your life, I'm saying, but just in general, there's nothing wrong with that. So I say give it a try and see for yourself, like maybe it is something that you would really like. Thank you so much for watching. Check out our Patreon to see if there's a tier that fits your geeky needs. It definitely helps with the channel putting out so many videos on a regular basis. Let us know in the comments why you love One Piece, or if you're like, hey, I'm thinking about trying out this manga. And as always, stay minty!